One. Hi, everybody. My name is Brad Kelly, and I'm the regional coordinator for the Society of Biblical Literature's Pacific Coast region. And this is another installment of our SBL Pac Coast 7 Good Minutes, Meet Our Scholars. Just a chance for us to kind of introduce some of our established and emerging scholars that are here on our region. We think we've got some of the best folks out here doing biblical studies in the Pacific Coast region and want to share a little bit of them with you. So I'm excited to have with me today Dr. Ken Waters from Azusa Pacific University. Ken, thanks for doing this. How you doing?
Doing great, doing great. Glad to be here. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, sir. Well, 7 good minutes. Let's do it. Here's question number one. I mentioned Azusa Pacific University. How long have you been there, and what all do you do in your post there?
Yes, I've been at Azusa Pacific University, which includes Azusa Pacific Seminary. So I've been here 21 years now. I serve as a professor of New Testament and also as associate dean of personnel contracts and undergraduate studies in the School of Theology.
Okay, very good. You mentioned New Testament. Question number two is about scholarship. What do you work on in your own scholarship, just generally speaking?
Yeah, I tend to focus in historical Jesus research, which includes how to use the criteria of historicity and the Gospels as historical narratives. I also do a lot of work in the Pauline epistles where I focus upon Paul's rhetorical strategy and demonstrate the consistency and coherence of Paul's thought.
Yeah, very good. Getting a little more specific for question number three, is there any particular project that you're working on now that's got you excited during this time?
Well, yes, I'm working on a book project actually that I've entitled Women's Salvation and Childbearing, the Mystery of 1 Timothy 2, 11 to 15, which is actually a compilation of 2 journal articles that I've already published. Basically, my argument is that when Paul uses the terms saved through childbearing, he's actually speaking of a Mediterranean trope where the soul gives birth to virtues. And in this case, it'll be the virtues of love and patience and holiness and temperance there in 1 Timothy 2:15. So that's kind of taking up my time right now.
Okay, well, that's a great little teaser there for folks to look forward to there. That's good. The fourth question is about kind of our location out here. I'm wondering what if anything, do you find particularly exciting or I guess maybe challenging about doing the work of biblical studies, particularly here in the kind of Pacific Coast region of the U.S., or I guess in your case, particularly Southern California?
Right. Yeah. The Pacific Coast region, and specifically Southern California or the Los Angeles area, also where I'm located, is a hub of diversity. It's sort of a crossroads of diversity, kind of a wind tunnel of diversity down, and that includes theological diversity and diversity in biblical interpretation as well. So of course the challenge is that when we do our work in biblical studies, yes, we have to be conscious of all these streams of diversity as well and be in dialogue with these different perspectives in our own work.
Yeah, very good. Thanks. Well, final question, and it's a tough one. These are obviously challenging times with the COVID-19 pandemic and social and racial justice issues and Black Lives Matter and more. Any thoughts on being a biblical scholar in this time and context?
Yes, I believe the main takeaway here is that all biblical interpretation, all theologizing, generally speaking, is done from a particular social location. There's no such thing as a culturally neutral location from which we do biblical studies. So one of the things we have to ask and ask critically is how have our work in biblical studies in the past either contributed to social inequity or has been effective in dismantling social inequities. And we're living in a climate now when all of these things are coming to the fore, and we can no longer afford the luxury of ivory tower abstraction. We need to deal with these issues, and especially deal with the question of how is my work in biblical studies either making things better or supporting the status quo.
Okay, very good. Well, there you have it, folks. 7 good minutes with Dr. Ken Waters from Azusa Pacific University. Ken, thank you very much. And everybody else, I hope you'll tune in for the next installment. Take good care.